Dave Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I've got a pretty fucking intense Ask Boyle today. I was thinking to just cut and straight to it because fuck all happened today. It was the same shit. Some cunt annoyed me. Another cunt thought I was a fucking retard. Israel bombed Rafah. Donald Trump supports Bitcoin. It's just your average fucking day, you know? So I'm going to skip all that. I'm going to skip the bullshit. I'm just going straight to this week's Ask Boyle. So this week's Ask Boyle was sent in anonymously from the USA. And here it is. I have a question so completely taboo that you may be the only person on earth fit to answer it. Do you think there's ever any logical or justifiable reasons for suicide? I obviously can't ask anyone in my personal life this question because their emotions would make an objective answer impossible. Nor can I ask a mental health professional because they too would be incapable of an objective answer, and they would also likely send a crisis team to my door and lock my ass up. So that's where you come in. I have hovered somewhere on the scale of suicidality for upwards of 25 years, but I've never done it for two reasons. Firstly, I have a twin brother and it would break his heart. Secondly, I've always had a very stubborn sense of curiosity about what may be waiting around the next corner. But I've reached a point where that curiosity is all but totally gone. It has been fading fast for a while now, and when it comes to not wanting to break my brother's heart, I'm wondering how long one can be expected to live their life for someone else. At what point does one's life become their own and you get to stop living it for others? At what point does anyone get to say they put in a sufficiently honest effort? At what point, if ever, does suicide no longer become an act of melodrama, but an act of logic? You don't have to answer this right away. I don't have any immediate plans to off myself, but I have been flipping through the brochure. Well, Anonymous, you have come to the right place. I would say this is a little bit above my pay grade, but I'd be lying. But it is a fucking big question. So let's break it down. Let's fucking start right at the beginning. Do you think there's ever any logical or justifiable reasons for suicide? For starters, logical, yes. Just fucking name anything. There is a billion, trillion reasons to commit suicide. You don't have to fucking scratch the fucking surface too hard to just want to walk in front of a fucking bus. That's for fucking sure. I've been at my new job for like 4 days, and 4 of those mornings I've been like, fucking, should I just steer this directly into a semi-trailer? My knees were sore the other day, and I was like, fucking, I'm ready. So logical, definitely there's some logical. Almost everything in life is suffering. That's the Buddhist mantra. So logically, you would think the best way to end that suffering would be to end the life, yeah? But I don't think that's how it works. Now, the problem with the answer I'm going to give you is it's going to be spliced in with my beliefs. And I don't believe this is our only life. I believe we get reborn continuously until we learn all the lessons that need to be learned to eventually reach some sort of whatever. Call it nirvana. Let's take the Buddhist fucking view and call it enlightenment, nirvana. But this life is a test, and that means there's no justifiable reason to commit suicide. And what will happen is you will more than likely go back and have to live a life of some sort of more suffering. And if you check out in that one, you keep going deeper into the fucking realms. You know what I mean? Whereas if you can carry your burden in this life, your load will be lightened in the next one. I said that to my brother recently because I don't know how my brother gets through his shit. Full blown schizophrenia, just battles through. And I told him, I'm like, if you can get through this one, I know it's fucking hard, but if you can get through this one without doing anything bad, and you've done nothing bad, you've never done anything in your life that can't be forgiven in an instant, you're fine. Karmically, you're fucking fine. You just have to fucking remain like this and just get through this one because your next one's going to be good. I can tell you that right now. Just get through this one without doing anything bad. But in my opinion, you have your crosses to bear in this life. Suffering is intrinsic to life. It's inescapable. And I truly, truly believe that if you check out, if you commit suicide in this life, you have to redo it, but the circumstances are going to be harder next time. And so it's just going to get worse and worse as you get reborn in lower and lower fucking forms. And once you set off the momentum of that, you're not talking about a lifetime of suffering, you're talking about aeons, like eternal suffering. You set in motion a flow of events that you don't want to set off in motion. Trust me. That sort of momentum, karmic momentum, is not what you want to be fucking doing. But that is all fucking cut in with what I believe. You may be someone who doesn't believe in the afterlife at all. You believe the suffering ends at the end of life. It just goes black. It's dark. That's it. Relief. And if that's the case, I still don't think it's justifiable. Like if you're suicidal, let's say you make the decision to commit suicide. Let's say you set a date a year from now and you know you're going to die. It's like someone finding out they're going to die. How much different would you live if you knew 100% you're going to die? So now that you've got that date up ahead, there's a finite time left on Earth. Do you know how freeing that is? Do you know how free you could live? Do you know the risks you could take with life and everything if you knew you were going to die in a year? And not only that, it didn't matter if you died in between that time. Like you're not clinging to life. You can just live purely free. Like you could do anything. Think of the possibilities. Just use your imagination. For example, you could walk out of your house right now. Just fucking walk out forever. You never have to go back. Why do you need to go back? Fuck it. Walk out of your house, go to the bank, take out a giant fucking loan, get a massive credit card. Just keep walking. Buy some new clothes. Get on a flight. Go fucking somewhere. It doesn't matter where. Just keep walking. Eat when you get hungry, sleep when you need to, and just wander. Wander aimlessly. Check things out. I don't know. I could fucking... I could do some damage if I fucking knew I was going to fucking die. It's a complete fucking waste of a life to just meekly commit suicide. That's unjustifiable. At least use your life for a cause or something, or at least as an example on how to live for a little while. Like something like that could completely change all your paradigms. A complete paradigm shift. I feel like people who suffer depression just feel like they're getting squeezed into a smaller and smaller box that they can't break out of. But if you feel like your only choice is death, then fucking at least live a little bit beforehand. You can literally do anything you want. Your imagination is the only fucking limit. But here's the sad thing. It is anyway. We can all do whatever the fuck we want whenever we choose to. It's the boxes we put ourselves in that are fucking restricting us. I can't do this because I have an obligation to this person, or I have to pay my rent, or I have to do my Yeah, that's okay, but all these decisions that you're making are leading to a fucking depression so fucking overwhelming that you're thinking about killing yourself. So fuck all that shit. Fuck it. Do some dangerous shit you might actually accidentally die from. Go swimming with sharks in fucking Jamaica or something like that. Fucking climb Everest without oxygen. Do some crazy shit. If you're going to kill yourself, like, live hard. And if you end up in jail, it doesn't fucking matter either. You're going to kill yourself no matter what. You can kill yourself in jail. You can kill yourself in prison in China. Like, literally, nothing matters. You can live a crazy fucking life. That was what I never understood. I was like, fucking, before I ever got to the suicide thing, I'd be like, I'm just going on a massive fucking rampage. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. Absolutely fearless, and your imagination is just the only limit to that. That's how we all should be living anyway, now, before we get to the suicide part. Maybe not to that fucking extreme, but we definitely should not be living the way we're living at present. Do the things that have scared you. Do some of the things that scare the absolute fucking life out of you. You know what I mean? The things that terrify you, that have forced you into a little box that you can't leave. Just break out of the fucking box. I don't know if that's real helpful, saying something as simple as that. Break out of the fucking box. It's like this thing I read the other day. Some dude wrote 9 easy ways to quit drinking. And one of his 9 was, instead of drinking beer from the bottle, drink kombucha from the bottle. That's it. No explanation. Just move on. Done. Fixed. I felt like getting a kombucha bottle, smashing it, and stabbing it into his fucking eye, which I would have done if I was fucking suicidal. I would have glassed him right in his face. What was some of the other horse shit? Just fucking live your life. Jesus Christ. At what point does anyone get to say they put in a sufficiently honest effort? You haven't put in a sufficiently honest effort. You haven't fucking done anything in like 25 years. I bet you it's been 25 years since you've truly scared yourself with something you've done. Like, pushed yourself to the absolute limits of your being. That changes you. These are all paradigm shifting things. I feel like you've probably just played it safe for so long now that you've gone to like an extreme thing now. The most extreme thing. Play it less safe and the extreme thing will become less and less. It won't have to go all the way to suicide. Like, it's the scales. It's a balancing thing. You can't play it super safe. Otherwise, the fucking pressure release or something. And your other question was, at what point, if ever, does suicide no longer become an act of melodrama, but an act of logic? And I covered that. I covered that at the beginning. Suicide is an act of logic, but it's an act I find unjustifiable. And people might be like, well, what if you're sick and you're dying and you're in extreme pain and all that sort of shit? Isn't it better just to be put out of your misery? I still don't think it's justifiable. I think about it all the time as well. I'm like, if I have a really fucking miserable, painful death, am I going to have the strength to even battle through it? That's scary, definitely. But you have to fucking bear your crosses. And hospitals fucking basically give you assisted suicide. That's how you die in hospital. You're in pain and they just continue upping the morphine until you're dead. It's already assisted suicide. Anyway, you should probably speak to someone a little more qualified. But they'll probably be like, hey, life's great. There's so much to live for. It's awesome. Which would push me over the edge. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, cunt? What life are you living? How much are you earning, cunt? You're earning $13 an hour. How much is your rent? And you just start turning... You start turning him, the dude who's trying to save you, becomes suicidal. Anyway, fucking bear your fucking crosses. Stop playing it safe. Take some risks. Live with freedom and imagination. And the next one, your next life will be fine. Okay? Good. Anyway, I hope that helped. That'll do for today, and I'll see ya the fuck later.